Hey, what's up everyone? It's LockDots back from Beamer Forums. I figured it out. Well, what happens is when you look at the back of a radio, if some of you know how to install, typically aftermarket red wire is accessory. It's what tells that radio to turn on basically. Blue is usually like either a remote turn on for the amps or power antenna. What happens is sometimes they get mixed with either blue white or blue black. What happened here with the previous owner, my dad, is that he couldn't get the radio to turn. Well, the radio portion would work, but not the CD player. CD player wasn't turning on the amplifier. What happens is he hooked up from the radio side the antenna wire to the accessory wire in order to get the antenna turned on. But then just to be safe, he also added this blue one on the other side, I guess, to always turn every factory amp on, which is fine. However, you're feeding back into the one going into the radio. Somehow the accessory going back into the radio and then feeding back into the system kept the car on until I hit the brakes. Why the brakes shut it off, I really don't know. Maybe it was the extra load it needed. Anyways, here on the radio, blue-white is remote turn on, whereas on the aftermarket harness, blue is. So, it's as simple as getting rid of the antenna wire from the radio, clipping and taping that, taking the remote turn on from the radio, also removing the remote turn on from the car side. Kind of hard to do with one hand. And basically, we're going to leave the accessory wire on its own. We're going to take the remote turn on wire and hook it up to the factory remote turn, factory amp turn on. The antenna one we can leave off because it doesn't matter. We always need the amps on. So, with those two separated, I'll show you real quick. Get the key back in the car. Radio turns on. Normally this would be enough so that when I take the key out, the car stays on. I'm sorry, the radio stays on. So now when I take the key out, radio shuts off. It was that simple. As simple as keeping the factory amp turned on at all times basically through the accessory wire, which is supposed to shut off when the car shuts off, but again, possibly due to the backfeeding problem. So that's it, guys. Crazy zoom.